Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And today I want to talk about Dare to Defy. I've been wanting to put out this video for a while. Dare to Defy is coming to a close. I believe they took a poll on Dare to Defy during the last community stream. And I just wanted to give my thoughts just on the event in general. What I think about it and if they should continue it, and kind of give my rationale for why or why not, right? For those of you unfamiliar with what this is, Dare to Defy is basically every time for like a period of time, right? So they did it for a period of a few weeks or like a month. Basically, it spanned through 7 events, right? And what they did is each time a new event came out, they released a Dare to Defy stage in conjunction with it. And basically, what Dare to Defy is you look at all of these 7 Shinryus that came out in a row as a pod, and it's a lockout event. So basically, you have to try to beat all 7 of these stages with using each character only once. You can't repeat the characters, right? And there are some extra rewards tied to this that are very, very good. I'll talk about the rewards in a second. So for me personally, as a veteran player, I really loved Dare to Defy. And I want to see this back as permanent content. It made each event more fun because it allowed me to experience each Shinryu twice, but with very different team comps, and I had to be very creative with how I did it, right? And it's not just thinking of how do I beat this one Dare to Defy, but how do I beat it while keeping, my team or my box set up to do another Dare to Defy in the future, right? Now, why people don't like this is because they feel like it adds pressure to pull, which it does give an incentive to pull, which I actually think is good for the game, because if the game makes more money, then it's going to be around longer, right? So I think incentivizing people to pull isn't a bad thing, because I would say if you're someone that's a low to pay or free to play player, you just need to be smart with your gems regardless, right? And you don't need to pressure yourself to pull for these events. And once again, when we look through the rewards, I'll kind of explain why I feel that about it. But for me, like, if it's like I just need to beat the newest Shinryu, like if you say have the cam combo and the fight doesn't lock it out, you can just cam combo every fight. There isn't really a reason that you need to pull or like have fun with new characters, right? I've always been a fan in this game of lockout events or just events that force me to explore my box more and use characters that I don't use. So I think it's a very, very fun event. I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed using my characters more. Now, for those of you that are frustrated with Dare to Defy, I know one of the big complaints was that it's very difficult for newer players. It's even hard for some veteran players that didn't pull every FR, things like that, right? So kind of my argument against those things is this is endgame content. So this shouldn't be beatable for newer players. Like a day 1 player shouldn't be able to beat this. And I think DFFOO has basically set this trend. Like for people that aren't used to other gachas, there's players that come into DFFOO. DFFOO makes it so easy to jump in and get a powerful team right away that like you could literally be you could start the game today, and within a couple days you probably could already start beating Shinryu fights, which is intended to be the end game content, right? So they've done a bad job in setting that expectation, because new players have come in and been able to beat the hardest content, but that's not the normal expectation for a gacha game, right? So gacha games, you should have to work your way up to this, and this is what these big lockout type of events are. This is what Dimension's End is for. You have to have really large, expansive boxes to beat these. So as a newer player, it's okay to not, and for everybody, right? It's okay not to beat every content in the game. You don't have to beat everything, right? So that's the first thing, is that. Now, for maybe veteran players that were frustrated because they really felt like they had to pull every FR. Now, I get that, because here's the thing with this Dare to Defy that I want people to remember. This Dare to Defy dropped at the very beginning of a new era, pretty much at the beginning of the Force era. So you did not have a big expansive box full of FRs going into this. So if you wanted to have a minimum of 1 FR per fight, you had to pull darn near every FR up to this point, which makes it a lot more difficult. And to do Shinryu without FR can be done, but it's very tedious and a lot more difficult to do, right? So what I want to say to those players that were maybe frustrated this first time around, keep in mind that as later Dare to Defys come, you're going to have more FRs to use and therefore not feel as much pressure to pull. So for example, I'm a player that was able to beat, you can see I perfected every stage, and I literally pulled every FR, right? So sure, I did that, I was able to do it, and I got it done. But now, let's say like a player in my position, right? They drop another Dare to Defy in a couple weeks. I probably could not pull for any, depending on what the fights are like, right? I could probably not pull any FRs during that entire Dare to Defy cycle. And I know I've got enough FRs to get through 7 stages, right? Because I've already done it on Dare to Defy 1, and I used the minimum of 1 FR per stage. Plus, I pulled a couple more since then. So, for the players maybe that didn't have enough FRs this time around, if you're casually pulling 1 FR here, 1 FR there, you're picking up at characters, by the time they drop this again, I would say many more players would have a minimum of 7 FRs, that they could have at least 1 FR per fight going into this, right? Not to mention, like, really busted characters like Luna Freya have been dropped. She's really going to help you on maybe, like, your really hard Dare to Defy. So I want people to keep in mind that this first Dare to Defy is probably the most difficult that Dare to Defy ever will be. Unless, you know, obviously going into the next era, whatever that is. But future Dare to Defies won't be this hard. They should get easier because you should have more units to work with. So that's the other thing I want to keep in mind. Now let me talk about the resources. So the thing that really disappointed me with the poll, it was almost split like 50-50 of people that wanted to keep Dare to Defy and people that didn't want to keep Dare to Defy. And the people that didn't want to, their big complaint was, I'm a newer player, I couldn't beat it, the expectation's too high to pull all the FRs, it encourages you to pull whatever. Well, let's actually look at it and see, like, a lot of this, I believe, is, in my opinion, some of these pressures that players feel, it's self-inflicted. Like, nobody's forcing you to beat this content. Nobody's making you do it. Remember that gacha games should just be fun. Like, you're playing it for fun, right? So, let me just go in here, because I know some people are upset, well, I can't have access to these rewards, right? So that's what people are maybe more bummed out about. I don't get access to these rewards, therefore I don't want this content because I can't beat it, right? And I feel like that's kind of just a poor attitude to have. And let's look at the rewards here, right? So let me go into missions. They're right at the top of my completed rewards. So the rewards are good. Okay, so if we look, so these are the Dare to Defies right here at the top, right? So basically for the first few sets, you're getting high power stones, and you're getting the 4 stones. So you're getting 4 stones and high power stones, which are very, very good towards getting a character, right? And then there's 5,000 gems, 20 tickets, and that's basically it, right? So if you beat all 7, so let's say you even beat some of these. Like, most players are going to be able to beat at least 1 or 2 of these, right? So you're going to get some of these rewards, but you don't have to get all of them. But all you're really missing out on is some power stones to upgrade FRs. But if you're a player that's not pulling a lot of FRs anyways, you probably don't need these, and those are the players that maybe can't beat it. Same with the power stones, right? Or the, what do you call them, the 4 stones. And then the big thing is like, oh, I'm losing 5,000 gems, I'm losing 20 tickets. If you think about it in the grand scheme of things, you're not really missing out on much. And for those players that are using the excuse that it's pressuring players to pull, keep in mind, you should never pull for something just to beat one event or one piece of content. And my big argument for that is this: the amount of rewards you're getting will not outweigh what you spend to get the character. Okay? So let's say Ursula's Shinryu was particularly hard for some reason. It is actually one of the easier ones, but I'm just going to use that as an example. So let's say Ursula dropped, right? And you didn't want to get her at all, and you felt like you needed her to beat this Dare to Defy. To go in and pull Ursula's full kit and the resources you're going to use, you're going to outspend all of this for that one character to get one mission done, which maybe it's just this one here for 10 stones, or maybe this one here for 2 high power stones. Even if it's your 7th one, you're spending way more than 5k gems and 20 tickets to get a character's full kit, and you're spending way more high power stones and 4 stones than what's in this entire thing to fully upgrade that character. So one thing is, I think players need to get out of this mindset that you don't need to beat everything, and 2, you should never pull a character just to beat something. Unless you're a whale and you have the resources and you want to do it, that's fine. If you have the resources to spare, go crazy, right? Which I'm that type of character, or that type of player, right? So for example, I really didn't need a Roja, her FR. I had the rest of her kit, but I in particular have been saying I wanted to pull for it because, but I set a limit on the resources, right? I went to my summon video, I said, my resources are getting a little low. I'm going to allocate 200 tickets, and if I get it, great. If I don't, I don't. My main reason for wanting to get it It's because it's a very easy to use FR, and I had Dare to Defy in mind. If they bring it back, I want a very flexible, easy to use FR that I can use at any Dare to Defy, right? Now, if I was like at the point where I only had enough to pity one character and I didn't have the resources put in, I wouldn't have summoned for it. And if it came down the road later and I couldn't beat a Dare to Defy, oh well, that's fine. I'm saving my resources for the characters I want, right? But for someone like me, I've typically had extra resources, so I can pull characters for fun and to beat content that I want to make easier, right? That's a luxury I have, is having more resources. But for players that don't have that, you have to be very careful and pick and choose. Now, for players that are very disappointed about, say, oh, I'm missing out on all these rewards, these aren't accessible to me, I don't like that, what everybody needs to keep in mind, for those of you that said, no, I want to get rid of Dare to Defy, is that these rewards are all above and beyond what we normally would get, okay? So by saying, no, you don't want Dare to Defy, here's what you're saying. You're saying that you're taking away this fun content for players that want it and that enjoy it, which are a lot of players, by the way, that really like it and they enjoy the challenge of it. There's a lot of players that hate when stuff is too easy. They don't like garbage time. They want a challenge. This is perfect for those players. The most successful content that a lot of the veteran DFFOO players love is stuff like this. Global exclusive content and lockout content. So there's a player base here that really likes it. Here's the thing. For you free-to-play players or players that couldn't beat this, a lot of the veteran players that like this content, they're the ones putting the most money into the game and keeping this game alive for you guys to play for free. So you want this content, even if you can't beat it, even if you think it's frustrating, you should want it because those whale players will summon extra for characters they wouldn't have, which in turn is going to give the game more money, which in turn is going to make the game be around longer for you to play for free. Okay? So that's the very important thing I want you to get out of that. And keep in mind, by saying no to this content, you're literally just taking away extra rewards. Because once again, this isn't rewards substituting for normal monthly rewards. Everything is still allocated normally. So you're literally saying that you're frustrated you can't beat it, you don't like it, so therefore I'm going to take away the fun for other players, I'm going to take away the rewards for other players. Basically, by voting no on that, that's kind of what you're doing. And it's not good. Because, once again, I don't want to get to the point. I don't want to sound negative or ranty, right? Like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So my goal here isn't like, I'm not trying to like shame people for voting no. I'm not trying to say you're bad for voting no or whatever. I wanted to turn away from that. Basically, what I just want people to understand why it's good content to have in the game and how it helps the game overall. And if you're someone that voted no for Dare to Defy, to maybe just rethink that a little bit and just see this side of it and see that there really isn't a negative to this. It is all positive, and it can be something for you to work towards. Once again, there's even players that just can't beat like Shinryu, like period, right? That are very new and they find it very hard. That's okay too. If you only play Chaos and you just love playing characters, you use characters with incomplete kits, but they're your favorite characters, you can't afford to get the full kits, like, as long as you're enjoying the game, you're playing the game right? The only wrong way to play the game is to play it to the point that you don't enjoy it or to make it feel like a chore. But as long as, no matter what you do in this game, as long as you enjoy doing it, doesn't matter what you're beating or what you're not beating, then you're playing the game right. Just enjoy it, have fun. And once again, if you don't like all the content, if it's extra and other people like it, let them have their fun, let them have their rewards. Squex, if you see this video or maybe somebody will pass this along, please keep Dare to Defy. It is a lot of fun. Most players, I would say, enjoy it. And it adds an extra element to the game, and we like having extra rewards and extra content to do. So anyways, guys, let me know if you agree or disagree with my take on Dare to Defy. I love it. I think it needs to stay. I hope they bring it back. The fact that they were asking about it and doing a survey to me is a good sign because it means they're thinking about keeping it. I hope that the 40 whatever percent or 50% that said no doesn't deter them. I really do hope they keep it because this is good, excellent content. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.